Personal finance and management. Personal finance and financial management, and dealing with it with today's job market. It's like, well, I guess you still have people who have more than one jobs, but at one point in life, people will go after more than one job in order to get some personal freedom, having a better opportunity with their personal finances, right? Having better idea of how to manage their finance, because there were ample amount of job opportunities in society. Right now, we're not seeing that much anymore. I was talking to my father, and he was talking about the amount of jobs how he used to work, because he think I work a lot, but I do a lot of side gigs. Well, I can do my 9 to 5, work a lot of hours with that. But other than that, I do side gigs, so like 9 to 5 side gigs and side hustles and stuff like that, right? But for his generation or back in his days, they were working more than one job. So they would work. You wake up early, go to one job, get off, have a little break, go to another job. That first job be like the 9 to 5, and another one be like a part time job. And then on the weekends now he would do like a different kind of job, but that would take up like Saturdays, Sundays. It's like a part time job. But I was thinking like, yeah, it was ample amount of opportunities for jobs back in the days, right? Jobs wasn't that hard to find back in the days, but now the job market, it's not a lot of jobs out there, so people aren't able to grab more than one jobs to where they can manage their finance better. They can pay off debt. They can be able to invest because of how the job. Let's see, little son. Because of how the job market is now, people aren't able to grab up more than one jobs and have money put to the side for investments, have money put to the side for acquiring assets, have money put to the side and able to go on vacations or able to purchase a home and things like that. Money for down payments for a home. It's not like how it was back in the days, because now the jobs are not out there. People are basically fighting for jobs. You have people who have retired. Um, they're back in the workforce because the cost of living is up, right? So their retirement or social security is not keeping up with cost of living. So they're competing with people that's regular workforce. They're also competing with people who are just graduating with from college that's entering the workforce, right? So it's a lot of dynamics that's going on with the economy and building on your personal finance, right? It's a lot of dynamics. It's not like how it used to be. Like I said, you can have more than one job, a part-time job, full-time job, and even like another additional side gig or um, home business. Nowadays it's kind of hard to try to get all that together. Shout out to Katie Alberto. Shout out to you, Kate. Yep, Katie Alberto. Shout out to you. Let me know where you watching this live from. Tanner Tanner Daly. Shout out to Tanner Daly. Hey, how you doing? Hi, Tanner Daly. April Garza. Hello, April Garza. Shout out to everybody who's on here. Thank y'all for being on here. Appreciate your time, because like I say, your time is the most valuable asset that you can have, and I appreciate you coming on here and share with me. And appreciate you hitting that like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I talk a lot about personal development, personal finance, getting your mindset right, having the proper mindset, mental health. But on this live right here, we're talking about going into 2026 and how the job market is. and trying to navigate between having the right personal finance and managing your money right personally, and how the job market isn't allowing that. Because for one, the rate the rate increase is not keeping up with cost of living, right? So wage increase is not keeping up with cost of living. Then you also got um, layoffs, massive layoffs, a lot of downsizing. You got a lot of companies cutting back because they're getting hit with the tariffs. So in order for them to, I guess, make their profit in a way, because they're not gonna say that, they have to increase prices on things, so the prices goes up on things, right? Also, what happened? Actually, in my state recently, I just came across some news. In my state where I'm at, they're having a minimum increase. So the minimum increase is going up, I think, by 60 cents or something like that. But some companies now are saying that they're really not gonna. Well, they're gonna have to go with the increase, but what might happen is they're gonna have to downsize on their employees, so on their workforce, in order to be able to have that money to, I guess, offset whatever the cost going to be in order to raise the minimum wage. Um, the state that I'm in is they're going to be having the second highest minimum wage in the United States. So I guess that's a good thing. Minimum wage is going up, but cost of living is rising as well as inflation. So you got cost of living and inflation still rising. So the wage increase is not increasing as high as how inflation and the economy is. So what else we got talking about, right? So we got personal finance. Cayman reports say even though the economy is the way it is, we have a large amount of people increase their purchasing power during the holidays. So a lot of people went out during the holidays and was spending a good amount of money, right? So how is that going to affect once we get hit with the tariff increase, once we get hit with the inflation, a lot of people is going to be hit, right? A lot of people is going to be hit with their pockets, with their bank accounts, with costs. When costs start rising, I went to the store. Well, I don't know if it's because it's New Year's Eve or whatever, or because of the time of season. But I went to the store to get a 3 liter soda. 3 liter soda probably like usually be like two something, but now it's like three something, $3 and change. And this lady calls, charged me $4 and change for some 2 liter. I'm like, whoa, okay. We gotta start budgeting and things. We gotta really start looking at the cost of living and prices going up and how to deal with it, right? Shout out to everybody that's on here once again. Thank you for your time. Your time, the most valuable asset. And we're gonna try to find ways to use our time more wisely to gain more income, to gain more assets, because we have to really start working on different streams of income and managing this money that comes in. Right now it's cold outside, probably like about what, temperature saying about 30 degrees, but there's a wind chill. Wind chill, they saying it's feeling about 20 degrees. So man, be safe out there. So cost of living, and I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but prices on goods and services is increasing like crazy. There's no more deal meal at fast food restaurants, right? But if it is a deal, I don't know. I'm not trying to get into no conspiracy things, but it's a lot of conspiracy talking about what the fast food industry is doing right now, in order to keep up with profits and cut costs and all that other stuff. Right now, I'm on the drive running some errands. Um, got out of work a little bit early, so running a couple gigs, pick up and delivery type things. And then after that, I got some research to do. But just wanted to hop on here to talk about going into 2026, what the job market is looking like for 2026. Um, just came across another report where I'm not going to get too much details, but a company end up laying off thousands of people within a certain town. And like I said, I'm not gonna get into full detail. I'll probably do a video on it. But within a certain town, a lot of these towns, their a lot of their income be banking on a lot of these factories that's in these like rural towns and these small towns in different areas of the United States, right? So what happened is the company wasn't doing too well, or they probably was doing too well, but I guess they're cutting cost budget and things like that. So they end up laying off thousands of people and end up being almost 40% of that town end up getting laid off, some number like that. I'm gonna get into it more when I'm gonna get more information about it, and I'm gonna come and do a video about that because that's crazy. It's like thousands of people laid off and it hitting the town's income by like 40% because 40% of the population was working for that company or something like that. It was crazy though, but we got to start thinking about increasing our skill set. Um, we can't just be banking on one source of income anymore. I mean, it works, but with cost of living and increase of inflation, it not working how it used to, right? You even have people 6 and 7 figure earners are venturing out on different ways to increase their income, get more assets. Let me know if y'all know where I'm at. If this area looks familiar. Rolling down Route 44. So personal management of your personal finance in 2026, it's gonna be some big movements. People grabbing up their plates and platters and everything, trying to get their food together, right? Um, so let me know what y'all thinking about. What's your thoughts about personal finance, personal financial management going into 2026, and what's the thoughts of the job market? Job market is not the way it used to be. Job market is not the way it used to be. Eh, I can even tell this by going into different stores, different retail stores. They used to be having hiring signs. Now hiring, looking for help. All that stuff is out the window. The best thing that a lot of people can do right now is get involved with the gig economy because there's no job out there like that right now. You got companies doing too much layoffs right now for people to be actually like looking for jobs. You probably you probably gonna end up probably wasting time looking for a job in today's job market than trying to do some side gigs or remote jobs and stuff like that. Remote jobs are getting hot though. Remote jobs are getting more and more popular. And some of the remote jobs be more like of a contract type assignment projects. It doesn't be like you're working for a certain company. It's like you're almost working for yourself in a way with these remote jobs. It's like I don't want to say they pay hourly or salary, but it seems like they pay more salary than hourly type. But let me get on this camera. Hope y'all enjoy that little scenery, that little drive down Route 44. Route 44, we crossed Route 187 and et cetera, et cetera. And now we're continuing the journey on the mission. It's a lot of opportunities though, so I'm not trying to sidetrack people from like looking for a job or trying to get involved with the job market. I'm just saying like there's other opportunities than just working the regular job, the regular 9 to 5, because it's not cutting it no more. Your company, your boss, the company you work for is not going to give you the same wage increase as cost of living or as inflation. Inflation is going up. What is it now? Like 4.5%, between 4% and 6% inflation, and it's rising every month. Even though some months it's cooling, it's still rising. So cost of living plus inflation, your wage is not matching that. Angel Andre 123, how you doing? Shout out to Angel Andre 123. Thanks for being on here. Appreciate your time, sharing your time with me. We're just talking about some personal finances and the job market going into 2026 and what it's looking like. That's what we're talking about in this live right now. This live, personal finance. It's gonna be a lot to think about, a lot to have on your plate. This personal finance thing going into 2026. I don't know what's gonna be more important, like having that right mindset, that personal development, or working on that personal finance for 2026. Because you see how 2025 was. It went by fast. A lot of things was happening. A lot of energy going around. Dynamics from all type of angles, right? Some good, some bad. But we're gonna see it going to even be more rampant for 2026. Might see more layoffs. Might see the economy like what's up with the stock market is going up, but then the job market is not doing well, right? How is that so? Stock market is record highs, but the job market is not looking good. And I'm not sure about the rest of the economy, like GDP and stuff. I shouldn't even came over here. I might have to be taking this right real quick. What's going on? Hey, doing the same thing I did. I had to cut over in front of somebody. Don't do the same thing to me. I think my turn is right here. I believe so. I think I'm on the wrong side of it though. Yeah, I am. I am. I am. But I'm not complaining. Great to be alive. It's a blessing to be alive. Learning from the different experiences of life. New Year's Eve, all the stores getting flooded early. I ain't gonna do it like that. I'm about to come up, run up in the store. I might come back on. Matter of fact, I'll bring y'all with me.